All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tuesday, July 29th. So it was pretty much Monday because it's 12:02 in the morning. I turned 26 years old on a few days ago, and I guess that's gonna be the topic of this video because I don't feel 26. This hair is getting crazy. I do really need a haircut, but it's about to be a late night, I would think. I'm trying to really get going here on TikToks. Will Upton NFL, and then also Mr. 2R's golf balling, because like I said, it's the point and purpose of this alt channel here is to just develop more of a community and just develop more of a connection with the people who watch my stuff. We did a live stream last night on Will Upton. I think it was like 1 a.m. or something like that. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, dude, I'm 26. I'm getting in my swaggy alt, and it's very inspiring and motivating. And I want to do these videos more. I still just have no idea what to talk about. So I'm thinking maybe let's talk about being 26. I'm on the wrong side of 20. Thankfully, I think that's really only a thing at 30. No, that can't be true. I don't know. But I'm on the wrong side of 20. It doesn't really matter. I'm 26 years old. It is really actually crazy. I see like 18-year-old kids, and they're like literally like toddlers to me now. And I remember being 18 and thinking I knew, a lot about the world, and you have the world at your fingertips. And now being 26, it's like, damn, dude, like I'm gonna start getting called Unc soon. So it lights a fire, or I should say it's lighting a fire under my ass in a good way. Yeah, in a good way. I don't know. That's the thing. We have the NFL season. I do want to give it one last full year of making NFL content. The thing with YouTube, and the thing with, like, not relying on YouTube full time, but if you were to rely on YouTube full time, because, when golf balling got taken a few years ago, I had to just go all in on YouTube. And to be honest with you, it took a few months. So, not to be a Debbie Downer again, but like in our last video on this channel, I was saying, golf balling got taken down in May of 2023, and that was my full-time gig. It's not like it was making an insane amount of money, but it was my full-time gig. And Will Upton and any other channel I had, like my Raiders channel or my Bucks channel or anything like that, Rockets, it was all just for fun. It was just something you would do once a day for fun. And I would never edit. I would never plan any topics. I wouldn't do anything like that. And then golf balling gets clipped. And I remember very vividly June and July being not good months on Will Upton because it's the middle of summer. And once preseason, honestly, training camp came around, it started to ramp up. And it was really crazy because even though it was like one of the harder times in my life, losing golf balling and getting it stolen and all that stuff, Will Upton blew up. Crazily blew up. I went from probably 20,000 subs to, which is already a good number. I went from 20,000 to probably over 50K, but maybe 60K or something like that. And it was a really good season. I had a lot of fun covering the NFL. We were doing 2 or 3 videos a day, and that was a lot of fun. But eventually, it kind of catches up on you. Being not free every Sunday is exhausting a few years into it. And that sounds so kind of crappy because it's like, oh, you have the ability to make NFL YouTube videos full time, and you're complaining about not ever being free on Sunday. And it's more of the fact the NFL season is a long time, and when you do it for 3 or 4 straight years, other things come up. Sometimes I want to go to a football game. Sometimes I want to play golf with my buddies because they have 9 to 5s and they can't golf Monday through Friday, and that's just what I mean. So sometimes you get a little bit burnt out. And my least favorite part about doing YouTube is editing. I absolutely hate editing. I hate it so unbelievably much. And it's just because of like copyright. It has nothing to do with storytelling, because I do think editing is cool. I think editing like a homemade vlog or a homemade video is very cool, and you could make your own kind of story. Like, editing is cool in that regard. But when you're covering like the NBA or the NFL or something, or golf or whatever it is, it's tricky because, in an ideal world, I could just be like, okay, week 1, the Green Bay Packers are playing the Chicago Bears. Let's talk about it. But you can't do that because that won't be monetized. And if, like I said a few years ago, you need that to be your job, the editing isn't fun. And now it's like 2025 and there's a lot of competition, and you can't get away with like not editing anymore, which is understandable. But I feel this past season, the past NFL season, I felt more of a slave to the algorithm. And there's a lot of really good content creators in the NFL world that are very quick and they're very good at what they do. And you almost feel like this pressure. And so I would be watching, like, especially on holidays is when it would be a real issue. You just feel like this sense of urgency, but it's a good sense of urgency. It's okay. The Green Bay Packers just played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They won it. I watched the whole game. I'm a Packers fan, or it's a Lions video or whatever. I want to get behind the microphone and give my comments on this football game. 3 years ago, that's all you had to do. Show a little bit of highlights from the game that you're talking about, and the rest of it doesn't really matter. But now you can't really do that, or at least I can't do it. Maybe I'm a little too boring. Maybe they're not interactive enough. Maybe I should do more phase videos like this on Will Upton, whatever the case is. I heard this good quote. I liked this summary of this quote. I might have even said it one time on this channel. Burnout, and it's about burnout. Burnout's really interesting because burnout's usually, at least in my opinion, it's something you deal with when the work you're putting in is not appreciated from other people. So I get burnout on Will Upton all the time. I get burnout on golf balling all the time, and it's because you're putting in so much work. I just made a Jags video, which historically on the channel doesn't do very well. But I just made a Jags video. It's got like 50 views in 4 hours or whatever. Hopefully it picks back up. But that's just kind of my point. I did maybe a Patriots video I did a few days ago, the Cardinals video I did a few days ago, the Raiders video I did a few days ago. None of those videos did well. But I still put in the work and I still put in the time. So you kind of just get, maybe it's like in your head, but you kind of get a little bit burnt out because it's like, okay, I just spent like the whole day kind of like looking into all of this regarding the Arizona Cardinals, and I, recorded it and I edited it, and it's a good edit, and it has 2.7K views, and that gets a little bit exhausting. And so that's just my point. I say this is going to be my last season of covering the NFL a full go, but what I mean by that is like from a brand's perspective, or from like an actual like channel community perspective. Like, I don't want to make Shedeur Sanders lights up day 3 of training camp. I don't want to make those videos anymore, which is a damn shame, because something along those lines is my most viewed video on Will Upton. But I would rather just like hop behind a microphone like this after a Packers-Lions game and be like, here's a 20-minute video on my thoughts on that game. But that's not how I built that channel. And when I do stuff like that, they don't do that well. They get, maybe 500 views, maybe it gets 1,000 views or whatever. So that's kind of what I'm saying here is it's late July and I just turned 26, and I'm trying to turn my Will Upton channel into more of a collaborative community page as opposed to like Shedeur Sanders versus Dillon Gabriel day 3 OTA highlights, every clip and reaction video. So that's just what I mean. So I say maybe it's my last season covering the NFL. I don't think I really mean that, but life changes, life moves on. I used to cover the NBA, and then I ended up detouring from that, and it makes sense. I like the NFL a lot better than the NBA, but that's just my point, is I'm turning 26. I just turned 26. I feel like I've said that 26 times in this video, but that's really like my only life lesson, or what I'm taking from being 25, or what I'm taking heading into this new calendar year is just, or birthday calendar year is just like, let's try and turn this into more of a brand, right? So I'm spamming TikToks, thoughtful TikToks, I'm spamming YouTube Shorts, we're spamming Instagram Reels, still doing one video a day on Will Upton, about to get into these team channels. I've got my Lions channel that I'm very excited about here, that we'll be getting into shortly, and yeah, that's really it. So that's the life update at 26. That's all I have. So hopefully you enjoyed it. The last video we made was like a week ago. It was really depressing. It was losing golf balling. So go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, that's it. Hit the like button, hit that sub button. You know the deal. We're only at 24 subs, which is a little disheartening, but it's okay because I've only made like 5 or so videos. So have a nice night and or day, and we'll see you soon.